If you place two polarizing filters perpendicular to each other, they block 100% of incoming light, creating total darkness. But if you insert a third polarizing filter at a 45-degree angle between them, light suddenly passes through again. Adding a barrier makes the system more transparent. To understand this paradox, we must look at the exact three-dimensional geometry of light. We need to visualize the electric field vector as it propagates through space, carving out geometric trajectories that dictate how electromagnetic radiation interacts with matter. An electromagnetic wave consists of oscillating electric and magnetic fields. Because these fields are perpendicular to each other and to the direction of propagation, we can fully describe the wave's polarization by tracking just the electric field vector. Imagine a wave traveling along the z-axis. The electric field vector oscillates exclusively within the transverse xy plane. If this vector is restricted to a single fixed line within that plane, we call it linearly polarized. The direction of this line defines the polarization angle. Mathematically, we write the electric field vector of a linearly polarized wave along the x-axis as E equals E subscript x cosine kz minus omega t at hat. Here, E subscript x represents the maximum amplitude, k is the wave vector pointing in the propagation direction, and omega is the angular frequency. As time progresses, the value of this vector increases, decreases, passes through zero, and reverses direction. Geometrically, this wave traces a flat sinusoidal curve in three-dimensional space, confined entirely within the xz plane. What happens when we introduce a second perpendicular component along the y-axis? We write this general field as E equals E subscript x cosine kz minus omega t at hat plus E subscript y cosine kz minus omega t plus phi j hat. The parameter phi is the phase shift between the two orthogonal oscillations. If phi is 0, or an integer multiple of pi, the two components oscillate in perfect synchronization. The resulting vector sum still traces a straight line in the xy plane, tilted at an angle determined by the ratio of E subscript x and E subscript y. When the phase shift phi is exactly pi over 2, or 90 degrees, and the amplitudes E subscript x and E subscript y are equal, a complete spatial transformation occurs. While one component reaches its maximum value, the other is exactly at 0. As the wave propagates along the z-axis, the vector sum of these two components never changes its magnitude. Instead, the tip of the electric field vector rotates continuously. In three-dimensional space, this motion traces a perfect uniform helix. We call this circular polarization.
If the amplitudes are unequal, or if the phase shift is any value other than 90 degrees, the helix becomes distorted. The tip of the electric field vector traces an elliptical path in the transverse plane, creating elliptical polarization. This is the most general state of polarization. Any state, whether linear or circular, is simply a special case of this elliptical geometry. By adjusting the amplitude ratio and the phase difference phi, we can sweep through every possible polarization state. To calculate these transformations efficiently, physicists use the Jones vector formalism. We represent the transverse electric field as a column vector with elements E0 x and E0 y e to the I phi. This notation strips away the propagation terms, leaving only the complex amplitudes. When light passes through a polarizing optical element, we model the interaction by multiplying this vector by a 2x2 matrix. This geometric algebra allows us to track how the phase and amplitude of each orthogonal component change instantly. Let us visualize this projection in 3 dimensions. If the vector rotates clockwise when looking toward the oncoming wave source, it is right-handed circular polarization. If it rotates counterclockwise, it is left-handed circular polarization. As this helical wave travels through space, it interacts with materials on a molecular level. Molecules with helical structures, like certain sugars or amino acids, absorb or refract one rotational direction more than the other, a phenomenon known as optical activity. Now we can resolve the 3-filter paradox geometrically. The first filter permits only x-polarized light, represented by the vector E equals E0 I. The third filter is oriented along the y-axis, represented by j. Because the dot product of I and j is 0, no light exits. However, the middle filter is oriented at 45 degrees, with a unit vector equal to the sum of I and j divided by the square root of 2. The projection of the first wave onto this middle axis is non-zero. This new diagonal vector then projects onto the y-axis of the final filter, resulting in a transmitted wave with 1/4 of the original intensity. This geometric manipulation of light is the foundation of modern display technology.
Liquid crystal displays control individual pixels by applying electrical voltages to shift the orientation of liquid crystal molecules, which physically rotates the polarization angle of light passing through them. By matching this rotation with a fixed exit polarizer, the display dynamically blocks or transmits light to form sharp images. Understanding the spatial geometry of electromagnetic waves allows us to manipulate information and build highly efficient optical communication networks.